I've waited far too long for this video to come out and to actually make this video. Yeah, I'm rocking up the full outfit. You can see this is the t-shirt that I've got. For those of you loyal fans who have been patiently waiting, because I first made that community post in December, I was like, it's gotta be time. That's when that SH Monsterarts Mechagodzilla drops. And to all of our greatest disappointments, it was so delayed. It is now April. It is finally here. The last time I did an SH Monsterarts figure was on the 2019 King of the Monsters stuff. And then last summer, I did the Godzilla and Kong. Here we are in 2022, a full year since Godzilla vs. Kong came out. And I'm still doing it. Surprisingly, it shipped quite quickly because I got the shipping notification last week, so it actually took a week from the US to get here, so it was actually rather quite quick. My. Sheesh! It's finally here. Well, first off, I'm still in a little disbelief. I am finally holding this box in my hand. It's felt like forever since I pre-ordered it back in August, and now it's finally here. Secondly, this box is very big. Now, I didn't grab my Ghidorah box because that box is tucked away in the crawl space and it's just way too complicated to grab out at this moment. But I did grab the other Godzilla vs. Kong SH Monsterarts figures that I grabbed. Here is the box for Godzilla. As you can see, it's pretty standard, what you expect. And then here's the box for Mechagodzilla. Off the bat, just by looking at the thickness, quite a huge box to say the least. And then we have Kong. Kong already is a relatively small box. We put Kong next to Godzilla. Like, there is already a big difference. Kong's box is a lot thin, and then you put it right next to Mechagodzilla, and yeah, you can see there is no competition. There is no Mechagodzilla is one heck of a threat. And of course, later in this video, I'll be taking out Kong and Godzilla, and we'll do a comparison of these three titans. Now, something I've noticed from the box art is, I don't know if this was intentional or not. As you know, for Godzilla and Kong, you slap these two side by side. It actually creates the image quite perfectly of Godzilla and Kong going at each other. However, you can separate these, stick Mechagodzilla in the middle, and it still works perfectly. Like, looking at the paint and everything, I think Bandai did an absolutely fantastic job paying very close attention to the box art details to make this work. So it's something a lot of people may overlook and may not even notice, but I really gotta put this spotlight on it because it actually matches. So now, while it's the same art, it looks like Godzilla and Kong are both about to take on Mechagodzilla. Back to the Mechagodzilla itself, what do we got? So, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mechagodzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong 2021. We got this beautiful art sitting there. SH Monsterarts logo on the top, and the Monsterverse logo on the side. And we got our Bandai, our seal of approval, and then we got the Legendary and Toho logo and 2021 Godzilla symbol on top. Just plain text like this. And then same thing on this side of the box, and then same thing on this side of the box, but we have another image of Mechagodzilla sitting right there, and then this is the back of the box. And of course, we've seen these images when the figure was first announced a year ago. With the box out of the way, let's open it up. I am actually very, very pumped to see this figure, so let's do it. Really pumped to see what's in here. Oh my god. He looks awesome. Oh, these are just instructions to tell you the articulations and the swapping of the claws. Because yes, there is an extra set of claws that you can swap. This packaging. Whoa, this is a lot of plastic. Here we go. I've waited months for this figure, and it's finally here. Oh, the claws came off, that's fine. I can't believe, oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm still in disbelief that I'm actually holding this figure. Oh no, please don't tell me this is defective. Not only is SH Monsterarts great as as for collectors, these will look fantastic on display, but even just as a playability, there's so much articulation to it. You can do stop motion of these figures, recreate the scenes from the movies, or you can just, be that little kid and bash your action figures. I don't suggest bashing this figure. It's actually quite a delicate and expensive figure, but like, you know what I mean? That little kid that takes the action figures and imagine a whole scenario being played out. Yeah. This figure will kind of bring that kind of vibe. And if you got like a buildable, like if you got like a city model or something, literally grab a camera, recreate. I know some people out there have already done that, but go out there and recreate the final battle scene from the movie. This is the most movie accurate Mechagodzilla you're going to get. If you're like a long-time fan, long-time nerd of the Monsterverse, or just, these kaijus in general, this is a definite must grab. Forget Playmates, forget the cheap toys, save your money and get this, because this is made for those kind of fans. This is made for those kind of people, and I think I've said something similar to that for both Godzilla and Kong, and honestly, I am very, very impressed with this Mechagodzilla. Like, this is a little on the expensive side. This was around 200 bucks when I think I paid around 200 bucks for it. And of course, if you're still not satisfied with the look, then of course you can always customize it, make it look better to your liking, like yada yada. But me, I like to keep things authentic. I don't want to ruin the things the way they are. If I was to customize this figure and do something about it, I would definitely try to highlight the red on the dorsal fins a little bit, just to give it more glow, because of course the red, and it really makes it look like a Transformer, look like a freaking Terminator. And I think that's what inspired this Mechagodzilla design, because of course it looks nothing like the previous Mechagodzillas we've seen in the old movies and the other interpretations and all that. The joints are a little bit tight, I will say. That's kind of why I played with it a little bit before I started rolling the camera again, is because yeah, the joints were a little tight, so I had to like just play with it a little bit, warm up the joints, make it so they're actually not so tight. You're probably gonna do that because I guess this figure is just, fresh out of the factory. No one's ever touched it. I'm the first one to be touching this ever since it was from the factory. So, but other than that, articulation is so good on this figure. Like, I can't even, I was impressed with Kong Godzilla, but here we have Mechagodzilla with the best articulation I've seen in any Mechagodzilla figure. I'm talking about this Mechagodzilla. Let me show you what articulations there are. First and foremost, it is the head. The head has some great articulation in the neck. You can see there's a big ball joint here, so you get some articulation here, articulation there. You can also move the head up and down, so if it's like powered, you can't really see if it's powered down or something. Yeah, you can bring it all the way down. Want it to look all the way up. Let's say it's like fighting a flying creature like Rodan or something. This is as high as it can go, but I think that's still pretty good enough. It'll have to look down anyways because it is taller than the other Titans, so there's that. And of course, you can kind of rotate his head a little bit like that. You can see, you can really make it look like he's kind of like looking to the side, blasting a proton stream, which is unfortunately not in this. They have a heat ray for their Godzillas, but for this one, they don't have a proton screen piece, which I've found quite surprising. I guess that's like the one downfall, but we'll talk about that more in a bit. So yeah, and then of course the jaw. It's a little tight, of course, because, fresh joints, but you can see, you can move it up and down, mimic the roar. This is as far as it can go. The arms, as you saw, I was kind of playing with this part, so you can kind of like make it look like he's clapping, kind of do that. There is movement here, and then there's movement in the shoulders as well, so yes, you can kind of make it look like he's running. These open up, these shoulder pads here. These are his missile launchers, so yeah, you can kind of do that. It's a little tight, of course, but you pretend like you open this up, and then there is no actual missile launcher. Just pretend it shoots out, because the actual missile launchers are at the back by the dorsal fins here, and they are not supposed to be moved. And of course, the same thing goes with this side as well. And then the elbows, which is the tightest joint right now. I'm gonna really need to play with this quite a bit to get the joints actually decent and not so tight. But yes, you can move that as well. and get some serious posing with that. And then the arms themselves. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't realize you can do that. Okay, well, not only can you fold the joints, you can actually turn it a complete 360 as well. So look at that. Some serious articulation going on here. Jeez. That is very, very impressive. Okay, I did not see that coming. And then, of course, the arms, or sorry, the hands themselves can be rotated very nicely. And then, of course, you can swap them out for the closed, more open-fingered hands. And of course, you can kind of make a combination if you want to, but I'm not going to really do that because it took me a long time to get this all assembled. So, but just to show you, these are the 2 extra hands that are included. And yes, you can pretty much make a combination. You know, when he's opening, he's grabbing onto something, or he's like about to lash at Godzilla or something. Like, there's that. So lots of articulation just from the head. All that articulation already makes this thing really, really impressive. And then the legs, there are some pistons here. And this is where I would say be the most careful, because these pistons can come out, and if you're not careful, they will snap. They are a very delicate piece, so watch out when you're playing around this area and trying to pose up the legs. So let me show you. You can move the legs up here, and you can see the pistons are moving along with it. You can also kind of twist it, but as I advise, be very careful. You do not want to break this. This is a figure you definitely do not want to break. So there's that. Of course, it's a little bit tight, but like as I've said, you play with it enough, it shouldn't be a problem. The joints will start to loosen up. As for the knees, look at that. Pistons, triple pistons at the back, as you can see. So that's as far as you can go, and this is how far I can move it back. And that's good enough. You can do the same, of course, for the other legs. So yeah, he's kind of, I think he's kind of like squatting like this, just as his regular pose. And then his knee, or his ankle, you can move that sort of up and down as well. Not really to the side, yeah, only up and down, which is fine. And of course, we got the big toenails, the big toes. A distinctive appearance on Mecha G is, the big toes. And some people actually wondered how he's able to stand, but he's a robot. He's an actual organic animal will not be able to survive with that kind of toes, but I'm not going to be a scientist here. We're here to talk about this figure. So there is that, and then the best tail articulation I have ever seen in any Mechagodzilla figure. All the tails have either been this one long plastic-y-like-ish piece, but in this case, the tail is everything. All articulation that you could ask for is here. Look at this, it's all on ball joints, and look at how far you can take the tail up to. You can go fold it all the way like this, all the way down like this, and of course you can make it all the way flat, all the way straight like this. It just works so well. So well, this is awesome. It's so flexible. You can pose the tail almost any way. It is so flexible, and it's the fact that it's more loose because it's a robotic tail rather than Godzilla's organic tail. Like, it is flexible too, but it has some limitations. But for Mechagodzilla's case, you can really take this tail up to almost all the possibilities. Almost. That's all the articulation, but overall appearance, awesome. The dorsal fins, you can take a nice look at those dorsal fins. Sorry, I can't speak. I will say one thing I would change, as I've said, if I were to customize this figure, is definitely highlight the reds on the tips of each fin. Just make them stand out a little bit more, because this seems not enough, and we do see a lot of glowing red in the movie from Mechagodzilla here. So you can see, you can see the details and the prints and everything, and you see the eyes. It's not glowing red, but it's there. And then one more little feature in the front where the chest is, there are some hidden missile launchers which you can pull out, which of course are a little bit tight at the moment, but you can flick these out, and these are belly missile launchers, which of course were not used in the movie, but it is there, and it is part of the feature of one of Mechagodzilla's features here. And then, oh yes, as I've mentioned earlier, there are shoulder launchers, missile launchers on the side here, which of course cannot be moved. And I think the director said the rocket, you know how like this thing has rockets, which propels itself forward and make harder punches and, you know, move faster than Godzilla. It can be turned into submarine propellers if it's in underwater, which of course we never saw Mechagodzilla in the water, but it's another feature it can do if it was in water. Other than that, the main missile launchers are just, yeah, they're just your average missile launchers just sitting there. It's a barrel of 8 each, so 16 missiles in each shooter, which is, oh my god, no wonder he could pepper Godzilla with just so many missiles at once. The final thing we're gonna do is, of course, do a comparison. Of course, this is the big shot. So here is Godzilla. This thing is tall. Mechagodzilla is much taller than Godzilla, as you can see. And you can see why he's such a tough opponent. And of course, you can see why the box was a lot bigger. And now let's put Kong next door. And of course, Kong is really a lot smaller than Godzilla. Now we can finally get this team up, this final battle fight. Kong is just a midget. That's a rough look at all 3 Titans. So it's time to wrap up this video. Was this figure worth the wait? The answer is yeah. It really was indeed worth the wait. This is the best action figure of Mechagodzilla out there. There is, like, in terms of like affordability, this is the sweet spot. It is not crazy expensive. It is a little pricey, but it's not crazy expensive, and it's a very high quality figure. Honestly, if you're a hardcore Godzilla fan, this is good for you. This is good. You don't need the big expensive Mecha G figures. Literally, there is nothing I would want to complain about it. But of course, if I had to give one actual criticism, and that is of course add more red to the dorsal fins, because we do see a lot of red in the movie from this character, and unfortunately it's not too much here, but it's not that bad. But it would be nice if we saw all that. The additional hands is also a great addition. They've done that for Godzilla as well. However, I feel like a big opportunity missed here is adding that proton scream. For Godzilla, it's fine because they have King of Monsters Godzillas that have the heat ray, which is why it wasn't that much of a problem for this 2021 Godzilla. But this is the first ever Mecha G we've got from this line. Like, I wouldn't mind if they added the proton screen piece and just up this price to like an additional, I don't know, let's say like $20 maybe. I wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't mind. I would be willing to pay that extra, because the proton screen, it's a missed opportunity, but it's not like a big problem. It's just an accessory in the end, and it'd be nice to have it though, just to attach into the mouth so it can actually like blast the ground and everything, do all that, because it's one of Mecha G's primary weapons. So as you saw with the playability, all the movements are excellent. The articulation is fantastic. Of course, it's a little bit stiff, but as I've said, just play with it enough, fiddle with it enough, and it will warm up and will not be as tight as it is. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. The proton scream is a miss, but it's not a flaw. Really, the main flaw is the dorsal fins. I will not ask for any other price for this. This is around $150, but boy was it worth it. Beautiful. So that is it for this SH Monsterarts review. I gave my score. Let me know what you guys think of this SH Monsterarts figure. Feel free to agree or disagree with me. And so that is it for this video. If you've enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And of course, if you've missed any other SH Monsterarts videos, like for example Godzilla and Kong here, go back and watch them. They are available on the cards as well as the end screen, and the links in the description. And we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.